What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Ben Thomas Show. Thanks for coming back. Guys, we have another this or that contender for today because, of course, Hono brand has given us a 6-scale classic-looking Ironman. Now, this pits this against the competition, which is their sister brand of Hot Toys, which gave us a classic Ironman not that long ago. So maybe you've been considering that other version. Maybe you already have them in your collection. Is it going to be this, that, both? I have some thoughts, so stick around if you guys like the video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show, and let's get into it.
Oh, pardon me, but it's
Ben Thomas Showtime. Let's go.
Hey everybody, so welcome back. So let's take a look at the figure from Hono first, and then we're going to go into the this or that section that compares this previous classic version that we got from Hot Toys to this Hono brand, and then let's discuss which version you might need. Is it this, that, both? I'd be curious to hear what you guys have to say. But let's look at this figure first, because guys, this does look really good right out of the gate. I've seen some criticism of people saying this looks like a toy, which, I mean, A, it is a toy. B, this looks less like a toy to me than the other version, and we'll get into that a little bit more, but with the seamless look of this figure, both in the arms, especially in the legs, not seeing those jointed sections, to me, really helps with my immersion into the character. It really helps me feel like I'm looking at like a kind of a person in a suit, which I really appreciate. Now, I do have some concern just around the metallic paint application that they're talking about over the seamless body. Will that crack and flake over time? I work in the paint industry, and oftentimes that type of material will crack, and I'd hate to see that on a 6-scale figure. So will that mean that folks won't actually really pose this all that much? Is this a museum figure contender? Well, overall, it looks like it's got really good articulation. I really also love the fact that they're using the yellow light in both the arc reactor as well as in those hand cannons. I think the yellow looks so much better, so much more iconic to the original kind of comic book look for the figure. So for that, I think they absolutely freaking nailed it. I also love the interchangeable faceplates. Now, that is something that the previous version did come with as well, but I would say, again, this feels like it's doing it better, both in the color, the styling. It, to me, feels like an Alex Ross painting, literally in figure format. It's awesome. But do we need both versions of a classic suit? The other piece here that I think is fantastic to note with regards to Hono is that they're giving us this magnetic piece that helps to turn those lights on. Now that's a really cool new piece of technology that I haven't actually seen before. But I also have a feeling that might be helping drive up the price on this guy. I'm seeing that this is showing up on Sideshow already for the pre-order price point of $215. Now, when we look at Hono's original Wolverine, the yellow and blue suit that came out at $165 with silicone arms and all of the things, at the time the speculation was, well, A, how can Hot Toys charge so much for their figures if this all comes in a $165 price point? What's the quality really going to be like once we see that Wolverine in hand? And will we see price creep? Well, the quality was pretty great in hand. I will say I've seen one in hand now and I really liked it. And overall, I think it shows that the margin on these figures is actually pretty freaking wild most of the time. Now, with this light up technology and an Ironman brand, I can understand why they've raised the prices up to a certain extent. There's always going to be a little bit of price conditioning when it comes to Hot Toys figures or 6-scale figures in general, right? There was a time where $285 for a standard Hot Toys would have been laughable. It was so expensive. Now we feel that that's a pretty reasonable price as long as it's under $300. Hono is always going to increase their pricing. But are they getting out of that introductory level pricing that they kind of are now known for and really truly highlighting even still on their screenshots? I would say yeah, to be honest. They're now in the price point of Exo 6 figures that have figure likenesses, soft touch materials, all of those things. They're getting into the same price point as Mondo figures that are also licensed brands but look kind of more like toys. Does this diminish their brand of being an introductory level if the price point is creeping up? I would still say no. I actually think that what I'm seeing here, with it being a seamless body, interchangeable face plates, a backdrop for your comic book, the light ups, all of that, I think does justify at least this price point. It sucks that it's creeping, but you get a lot here for 215 bucks. So to be honest, that's not much of a concern. Now, are we going to see a continued price creep? That would be when I'd have the biggest problem with Hono, because honestly, if you are trying to create an introductory level brand and you continue to increase the price, then you're incentivizing people to still consider the Hot Toys version. But now let's look at the Hot Toys version in comparison to this, because I have to say that if you put these photos beside each other and ask me which one is the introductory level figure without me knowing any different, I would say the Hot Toys one looks cheaper. With the joints, the paint applications, I think it looks cheaper. Now, it does come with more. It has the Tony Stark head sculpt, which this new Hono figure does not have. It does have still light up capability. It's got a display base, the hand cannon blaster effect and all of that. I think that's all great. But I collect figures for the representation of like what I see in my mind's eye when I close my eyes and I want that comic inspired version of a character. And to be honest, I actually think Hono's nailed that look in my brain way more for still a lower cost point. So is Hot Toys, the sister company here, damaging its own brand by allowing Hono to go down this route? I would say yes. I think, honestly, at this point, Hot Toys should just pass the torch for the comic-inspired line to Hono. It makes me want to consider going and getting that Thor. What else are they going to give us? Are we going to get a comic-inspired Hulk or a Moon Knight or, oh my god, so many, Iron Fist. There's so many cool characters that could come in the comic-inspired look that I think Hono could nail. And if it's anywhere between, let's call it minimum 165 to maybe a maximum of about 225, I think that would be the maximum threshold on these characters, I think Hono can really have a name for itself very, very quickly here. When I compare both figures, if I had to choose, I would personally be choosing right now the Hono brand. Now, I can understand, though, that might burn your ass a little bit because you probably already have this classic Iron Man in your display from Hot Toys. And do you need both? I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Is it something that you feel like you need both versions of? Are you now planning on getting rid of the Hot Toys if you already have it? I do think that the biggest differentiator between the Hot Toys version and this Hono is the fact that the Hot Toys is die-cast. So if you have a die-cast Iron Man display, maybe you don't want to go to the plastic version, and you're willing to pay those additional dollars to have it in the collection. I can understand that piece of it, at least in terms of support of the Hot Toys version. How is that going to diminish the value of that figure now? Are you going to take a loss on it? Nobody wants to take a loss, especially this quickly after a figure is released. That does not feel good. So if Hot Toys and Hono brand are communicating with each other, I feel like they need to work that out, or again, pass the torch with regards to this type of figure set. Give Hono an olive branch and let them go down deep into this line, because there's hundreds of characters that they could come up with that people would want to have in their collection, especially if they're nailing it like this. My final thoughts on this Hono brand version: I truly think it's beautiful. I don't think it looks cheap. I think the fact that you can even see Tony Stark's eyes behind the mask is enough for me to justify not necessarily having the sculpt. I love the interchangeable face plates. I love the fact that he lights up with this magnet device that I've never seen before. Make sure you don't lose it, of course. My only concerns here are price creep. If it continues to go higher, how high is that ceiling? How much are they going to condition us for these figures before we say enough is enough? You're no longer an introductory level company. And how is that suit material going to hold up over time? That metallic paint application over a seamless, flexible body, to me sounds like paint issues absolutely waiting to happen. But maybe we can call it battle damage. So guys, I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Is it this being the Hot Toys brand? Is it that being the Hono brand? Is it both? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But of course, this was a short one today. If you guys liked the video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show, and Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one.
Wow, what a great audience. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
It's gone. It's all gone.